Turns out defunding the police is getting people killed. Who could have seen that coming? Now these woke losers are calling to bring the police back. You are now on Watch with Drew Hernandez. Democrat Representative Henry Cuellar, victim of recent carjacking, previously voted for measures to make it easier to defund the police. He also supported the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. Democrat Representative Henry Cuellar, who recently fell victim to a carjacking, has a voting record that includes support for measures that could potentially weaken police departments. No surprise there. Among these are votes that make it easier to defund the police and the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act aimed at holding police accountable and end racial profiling. Texas Democratic Representative Henry Cuellar was carjacked at gunpoint outside his apartment building in Washington, D.C. The incident occurred Monday night and has been confirmed by multiple sources. 3 black men reportedly approached Representative Cuellar while armed and demanded his car. The attackers succeeded in getting away in Cuellar's white Honda CHR, which is registered in Texas. Well, Representative Cuellar had previously voted against an amendment to a spending bill that would have removed language making it easier to defund the police departments. According to the National Republican Congressional Committee, Cuellar expressed reservations about voting for an $82.6 billion spending bill due to policy provisions that would make it easier to defund police departments. However, when the rubber met the road, Cuellar did exactly that, voting against an amendment that would have taken out the problematic language. So obviously, we have a woke representative that is obviously in favor of demonizing police departments and police officers and ends up in a situation like this. Well, this dude had something to say about it. Take a look.
I think what really got me upset was they took my sushi. But anyway, that's something else. And they did recover the sushi after all. But anyway, I do want to thank the Capitol Police, and I certainly want to thank the Metro Police. I'm a big law enforcement person. I got 3 brothers in law enforcement, so I certainly appreciate the good work that the police did last night. Everything was recovered, my phone, my car, and everything.
3 guns pointed at you?
Yes. We tracked the car, the phone, the car, everything, and within, I don't know, less than 2 hours, they got everything back.
Do you think you were a target because you're a member?
No. Look, they had masks. They had masks, but you could still see that they were young. They had young folks.
You don't think they knew who you were?
No, I don't think so. These guys were 3. Yeah, you got to support. Message is very simple. You got to support law enforcement. And I've been doing that for a long time. 3 brothers are peace officers.
There should be a boost to member security.
I don't know. I would leave that to House administration. But this happened less than a mile away from the Capitol, and my place. You got our leader Hakeem there, Catherine Clark that lives there, a whole bunch of members that live in that place. So I'll leave that up to the police.
I'll leave that up to the police on that. All of a sudden, he loves police officers. All of a sudden, he is in favor for supporting police officers and police departments. All of a sudden, when it's him and he's getting carjacked at gunpoint, and all of a sudden, the congressional leaders are facing a threat now, so they're going to need to increase their armed security while they take the guns of law-abiding 2A American citizens. It's the same old story. Rules for thee, but not for me. But of course, right? He gets protection, and now he loves the police officers, and they can conduct an investigation and within 2 hours get his sushi back. Give me a break. That's the elite mindset. That's why he has that smug look all over his face, because he views you as a peasant and he's the elite. So he deserves the police departments. He views nothing but police officers as lapdogs. That's it. That's why he demonizes them whenever it's acceptable. And then he runs around claiming to be back to blue whenever it has to do with him and his life on the line. Give me a break. Well, speaking of the woke diversity hire morons, diversity hire Mayor Muriel Bowser of Washington, D.C. has had to address the hundreds of increasing homicides in DC and finally took to the media, addressed it, and at this point, it's straight gaslighting and peak clown world. Take a look.
We need more officers. We don't have the officers that we need, and sadly, we've lost 300 to 400 officers in the last 4 years. We haven't had officers in our schools, and we have policies that make it difficult to recruit new officers.
Well, gee, I wonder why you don't have enough officers. Well, maybe defunding the police, demonizing police officers, making them afraid to actually do their jobs and go after the bad guys, especially if it's a black dude, in fear of, well, if I actually do my job and I arrest this guy and it goes south and he resists and I have to use some serious force, deadly force to save the lives of innocent people, it doesn't even matter because I might end up just like Derek Chauvin. Of course no one's gonna want to be a police officer. Of course no one's gonna want to sign up for the job because you might end up in prison for the rest of your life because some low IQ drug addict black guy won't comply with police officers. That is simply the truth, especially in DC. People are not gonna wanna come and sign up to be police officers. Like, oh, and now all of a sudden, well, we have policies that are making it really hard. We have policies, yeah, maybe just allowing Antifa and Black Lives Matter to run around Washington, DC and vandalize buildings and private businesses and burn down the city and attempt to breach the White House. Yeah, maybe you have policies that are making people feel unsafe, especially when you communicate directly to the police that they're not going to be able to do their jobs. Of course you have policies that are making everything absolute chaos, but that's by design. You get the woke diversity hires in place, in positions of power, and they are there to simply take their orders from the top. That's why they're there. It's not meant to make sense. Of course it's incompetent, but at the same time, it's incompetence by design. Well, obviously defunding the police is gonna get people killed. So none of this is a surprise to anybody. Absolutely nobody. Democrat aldermen, innocent people are being hunted like prey in Chicago. What a surprise! Democrat Alderman Raymond Lopez of Chicago has had enough of what is happening in his city. Yeah, it's a little too late, buddy. In radical socialist Mayor Brandon Johnson's first 30 days in office, crime rose 38% from the prior year. In his first 100 days, there were 204 homicides. Wow, BLM, Black Lives Matter, great. All the black people are dying because you got a black woke diversity hire that's causing all the black people to die. Makes total sense, guys. Great job. We did it, Joe. It's so bad in the blue city that even Democrat Lopez is speaking out, telling Fox News that the city's failure to respond has left innocent people being hunted down like prey. What a surprise. Like none of us saw that coming.
You know, Sandra, I don't think there's anywhere off limits from crime in the city of Chicago anymore. Even in Bucktown or back of the yards, innocent people are being hunted down like prey in the city of Chicago. And that's exactly what happened to this young man who was just walking home, going about his business, eating, when these two individuals viciously attacked him. And the screams, the cries for help have gone unanswered. And we see this pattern repeat itself time and time again. Just in Lincoln Park, 18 robberies in one day, where even a 78-year-old community leader was savagely robbed and beaten simply for whatever was in his pockets. And as we see the new law ending cash bail, ending the pretrial detainable offenses list grow, things like robbery, burglary, arson, assault, even threatening elected officials like myself do not warrant you being held on bond anymore in the state of Illinois. And criminals are taking note. They've become emboldened.
You want to defund the police, you're going to send a clear message to criminals that it's their time to step up, be emboldened, and commit crimes, and innocent people are literally going to die. They said that take was a little too extreme in 2020 when the extremists were running around and burning down buildings in the name of defunding the police and essentially causing that to happen. And here we are in 2023, and you got video footage on Ring cameras of people dying, getting stabbed, getting shot, getting their lives taken on live television as if nobody could have predicted this. I mean, you made this bed, now it's time to sleep in it. They used to say, go woke, go broke. I've been saying, go woke, get killed. I mean, these woke ideologies are going to get people killed, and that's exactly what you're seeing in all of these deep blue cities across the United States of America. Disturbing video released showing the tragic fatal stabbing of leftist activist Ryan Carson on New York City street. Girlfriend witnessed the horror. A new video has emerged showing the shocking moment a leftist activist was randomly stabbed to death in front of his girlfriend in Brooklyn. The Gateway Pundit reported that Carson, 32 years old, was stabbed multiple times in the chest around 4 in the morning at Lafayette Avenue and Malcolm X Boulevard. He was with his girlfriend at the time, waiting at a bus stop after leaving a wedding. Carson was pronounced dead at Kings County Hospital, and as of now, the suspect remains at large at the time of this recording.
I'm so sorry. Are you? Are you? Please, go watch him. Go watch him. I'm so Ryan. No, Ryan. What? I'm gonna call 911.
Well, this is what happens when these ideologies collide with reality. You want to defund the police. You want to make it seem like a black person could never do anything wrong. And then you're standing on the street and you got this psychotic black dude with a knife coming after you and your girlfriend. You see, the interesting thing here is this white guy can't say a word. You want to know why? Because these leftists have glorified black people, and you're not allowed to call out a black person for any criminality, because if you do, that's racist. So, like I said, they made this bed, now they got to sleep in it. And unfortunately, this is a tragic thing that happens. But I'll tell you one thing, this guy, this leftist activist, he may not have been defund the police. But I will tell you one thing, the ones that support his activism definitely are, especially in New York. So no matter which way you cut this thing, no pun intended, you're gonna get killed. I mean, here is yet another example. Lefty journalist mocked conservatives who warned about violence in America before intruders shot him dead at his home. Philadelphia journalist Josh Kruger was shot dead in his home in the 2300 block of Watkins Street early Monday morning after he received a mysterious threat. 39-year-old Josh Kruger was shot in the chest and abdomen 7 times and was pronounced dead at the hospital shortly after 2 a.m. This is why you should buy a gun and lots of ammo. Kruger was murdered 2 weeks after he was threatened by a person who calls themselves Lady Diabla, the she-devil of the streets. In August, someone threw a rock through his home window. He said, then about 2 weeks ago, he wrote on Facebook that someone came to his house searching for their boyfriend. A man I've never met once in my entire life. The person called themselves Lady Diabla, the she-devil of the streets, and threatened him, he wrote. Still didn't go and buy a gun. However, Josh Kruger did have some choice words for anyone that believes in the Second Amendment or obtaining a firearm for just home self-defense at that. Some idiot just said you're more likely to get shot and killed than die of COVID in Philly to make some insensitive rhetorical point for his side. Folks, 4 times as many Philadelphians have died of COVID than gunshots this year. I understand math is hard, but do better. Oh, the irony. Here's another one. We all know the famous Don't Tread Me flag. He posted a mockery of it with the text under the snake saying, "No one's treading on you, sweetie." And he tweeted in the caption on X, formerly known as Twitter, "Can't wait for my new pin to go on my backpack." Well, I'll tell you one thing. If Josh could come back from the dead right now and have a conversation with you, maybe he would say, yeah, I kind of wish I had a gun in this situation because I'd probably still be alive. But even then, I don't feel sorry for these people, because these are the same people that advocate to take your guns away so you end up in a situation helpless and unable to defend yourself and your family. I don't feel sorry for these people, because these are the people that are praising the weaponization of the FBI coming after anyone that's a Trump supporter. These are the people that advocate to take away the guns from citizens while the federal government and politicians can remain having their armed security while you, the peasants, are disarmed entirely. These are the people and the useful idiots that are ushering in the full-blown tyrannical role of disarming the public in the United States of America. And we've been trying to tell people, you want to defund the police, you want to take away the guns. Well, you know what? That's a recipe for death. And here's the perfect example for that. My name is Drew Hernandez with the Gateway Pundit, and you have been on Watch with Drew Hernandez.